Hey, thank you, David. I appreciate that. Good morning to you all, and welcome to Piedmont Technical College. We are glad to have you here. My name is Carla Gillum, and I am the Dean of Curriculum and Online Learning here at Piedmont Tech. And I just want to welcome you. I'm going to go through several things today. David mentioned D2L, which is our learning management system. And this session is not meant to be a training, but there are some key pieces that I do want to show you to get you started in your courses this semester. I think one of the biggest things that I want to point out before we get started, though, and I'm really glad to hear Dr. Rivers share her story this morning, is like she mentioned, you're not alone in this. We are here to help you. She shared her story and talked about how we understand. You'll find out a lot of us here at the college have gone through similar situations or are currently going through similar situations. I'll give you an example. I worked full-time, took care of my family at home, went back to school full-time. So I understand what it's like to be a student and some of those challenges that you may face. So please don't feel like you're alone in this, and know that we're here to help you through that. So to begin with, I want to talk about your spring course delivery and how that's going to occur. I do want to mention, before we get into D2L and Brightspace, that as you have seen, we have been monitoring the last couple of weeks, and the COVID-19 cases around our community have increased. We are seeing an uptick in those numbers. And out of caution, and to be sure that we are really keeping the priority for the well-being and health of our students, faculty, and staff, our first week of classes will be virtual. So if you are scheduled to be taking on-campus classes, you will actually not come on campus until January the 19th. Classes still begin on Monday the 11th. But you will log in to your virtual environment, D2L, that I'll show you in just a few minutes. And that's where you'll be doing your work your first week of class. We're going to talk about D2L Brightspace, how your courses are going to be taught, and a little bit about remote proctoring this morning. So to begin with, D2L Brightspace, a lot of times you'll just hear us call it D2L for short, is our online learning management system here at Piedmont Technical College. So this is where your courses and your course material are accessible to you over the internet. This is where you will submit assignments, take quizzes, and communicate with your instructors and classmates. Once you have registered for your courses, they will automatically appear in your D2L. So it's nothing that you have to do to get access. If you are already registered for your courses, you can actually log into D2L and see those courses there. However, you will not be able to log into those courses until Monday when courses begin. You'll see that start date. But every course that you're registered for should show on that home page. So if you want to check and look around D2L to be prepared in advance for classes to start, I encourage you to look there and make sure all of your classes are showing. If they're not, you can submit a help desk ticket, or you can reach out to me, and I'm happy to help you get access to those courses that you need. Another important thing to note is the browsers that work with D2L. We recommend that you only use Google Chrome. However, if you're using a mobile device, Safari will work with D2L as well. We ask that you stay away from Mozilla or Internet Explorer, as some of the tools within D2L Brightspace are not compatible with those browsers. So our preferred browser here at the college is Google Chrome. You will get the best experience using that browser. In order to access D2L, you're going to log in to your Pathway account. And there's two buttons that you can use. This is a screenshot as soon as you log in. This D2L Brightspace access to your courses, or there's a D2L up here in the top right-hand corner. Either of those classes will open D2L for you to have access to your courses. Another thing that I want to note is down here under the student email tab in Pathway, you'll see D2L Live Student Assistance Request. So if you are working in D2L and you don't feel comfortable or don't understand how to navigate your course, if you're having trouble trying to figure out how to submit, how to reply to a discussion board assignment, you can fill out this request form here using this link, and we have staff members that will respond back to you and work with you one-on-one to address the issues that you are having. So we do have that available to you. Also, within the next couple weeks, we will be offering a few hours each week of on-campus assistance as well. So be sure that you're watching your emails and communications to get more information as we open that service up for you. And David, if you'll monitor the chat as well, it looks like we're getting a few things up at the top, but I can't see the chat while I'm sharing. So if you need to stop to ask me a question, feel free to.
How about if I go ahead and ask you a couple of questions now? Is that good?
Sure. All
right. So one of them that was related to the last slide was from Ashley, and she wanted to know if Microsoft Edge is compatible.
Google Chrome's going to get your best experience, and it's a free download, so I don't recommend using Edge.
Okay. And also, George asked a question, and I think you're going to be answering, but I'll go ahead and tell you what the question is, and you can decide when you want to answer it. He's asking if all of his classes are online, will they always be online even when COVID stops?
Okay, I will be getting to class schedule, so I'll come back to that. And is that George that asked that question?
Right.
If I don't answer your question completely, feel free to pop it back in the chat when I get to the area on scheduling, and I'm happy to answer it.
And the last question, and then I'll mute myself, is something I know you're going to answer soon here. Candace is asking about the days of her classes still say TBA. So I know you're going to talk about that with the scheduling. Yes.
And the course, I can go ahead and address that question. The courses that say TBA, if you'll my contact information is going to be on the last slide. If you'll send me an email, those days and times should be showing up now, unless it's an online course. That may still show TBA, because if it's an online course, there's not a scheduled day and time, one will not show up there. But my contact information will be on the last slide. If you'll just shoot me an email after we're done here, I'll check it to make sure, because our synchronous or our scheduled classes should be showing now. That's a great question. Thank you. So as you're getting into D2L, we do have a student self-paced training that is set up for you. When you log into D2L, at the very top, you will see a Discover tab. When you click on that Discover tab, it will open up 2 courses that you can self-enroll for. Now, I have already enrolled most of you into the PTC 101 course, so that should show under your My Courses that Mr. Rosenbaum showed you first thing this morning. However, if you don't see it there, you can always click on the Discover tab and access the course that way. And if you're not enrolled, you can self-enroll in that course. But there's also going to be a self-paced student Brightspace D2L training. So this goes over all the information on how to navigate through D2L, how to send emails, how to submit your assignments, how to respond to discussion posts, how to take quizzes. All of that information will be there. Now, I am updating that because we had some recent changes just this week within D2L, so it should be available. That training should be available later this afternoon or first thing in the morning. So talking about how your classes are going to be taught in schedules, and this should be spring. I apologize. That was not get updated. On your schedule, you will see several different schedule types. You may see LEC, you may see a lab, you may see web, you may see a Weeble, Wex, Wexel, Y. Okay, so what do all of those things mean to you? And how can you look at that and tell how your course is going to be taught? Well, I've broken things down here, but we've also included this legend at the bottom of your schedule as well. So if you have an LEC, That means that that is going to be a lecture course that should have a scheduled meeting day and time, and it should have a designated campus on there as well. Now, if you have a course that's an LEC that still has that TBA as your time, that's when I want you to reach out to me and let me know, because I need to find out what's going on with that. It should be scheduled. The same thing with a lab. If your schedule says lab, it should be on a designated campus with a scheduled meeting day and time. If it's just web, that is a virtual online course, which means there are no meeting scheduled days and times. You'll log into your course several times a week. You'll do your required assignments by your deadlines and submit them, but you do not necessarily need to log on at a certain day and time to meet with your instructor. Your instructors will have some virtual office hours that they'll be available to help you if needed, but it's not going to be required at this scheduled time. With the WEX, that is a purely online course as well. The only difference with this course and the web is that you will actually log on a certain day and time, and you will have class with your instructors. You're just doing it virtually online. And then if you see this Y, that means it's a lecture or lab course, and part of the course is going to be taught online and part of the course is going to be on campus. But just remember, for this first week of classes until January 19th, regardless of the schedule type that shows, for the first week of classes, everything will be virtual until January the 19th. So I know that's a kind of confusing slide and a lot of information, so I want to show this to you, how you're seeing it. So here's an example of a student's schedule. You'll see for the CVT 102 course, under meeting, it says web, and the day says TBA. And the reason that says TBA is a web course, there's no scheduled meeting day or time, it's all online. So that TBA will remain there. However, for the CVT 101 course, it shows a WEX, and you'll see it's a meeting day and time. So with a WEX, this is a course, it's an online course, but students have to log on every Monday from 8:30 to 10:10 in order to be in attendance for that course. And then down here, you'll see a lab, and this is where students will show you on the side what building, campus building, and room number the course is in, and you have your scheduled meeting day and time. So before I move on, I see some questions coming in. David, is there any questions about schedule that I can address at this point?
No, Carla, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm going to let you keep going.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you. Remote proctoring. Majority of our courses, especially when we're in a heavily virtual environment, are going to require remote proctoring, which may require the use of a webcam. So you want to be sure when you log into class, your first day of class, that you're going in and you're looking at the content and the information that your instructors are providing you to ensure that you need it if remote proctoring is going to be required in that course. There are 3 services that we use for remote proctoring: Respondus Lockdown Browser, Respondus Monitor, and HonorLock. And with these, when you log into your course and you go to take your test, you're going to it's going to open up a window, and you're going to have to take a picture with your webcam, and you're going to have a copy or your license or student ID as well to show your webcam. So the remote proctoring service is going to ensure that you are the person who's taking the test. And once they verify your identity, it'll give you access to the test. While you're taking the test, and with remote proctoring, everything else will be locked down on your computer, so you won't be able to open up different windows or tabs unless your instructor has given access for you to be able to do that, and the session will be recorded. As soon as you complete that test, the recording ends and the remote proctoring service stops having access to anything on your computer at that point in time. Now, I want you to know that your privacy is important to us. We have vetted all of these companies to ensure that they meet our standards for privacy. So just know that even though we are recording these sessions, your privacy is very important, and we have ensured that none of your information will be shared. This is a new change that occurred actually just yesterday within D2L. So email within D2L Brightspace, when you log in to D2L, there'll be a widget on the right-hand side of the screen that says log into your Office 365 account. This will be the same as your live student email account, and you'll use the same credentials to log in there. As soon as you click on that sign into your Office 365 account, it's going to ask you to log in, and it's going to look exactly the same way it does when you log into Pathway. And that will give you access to your emails here. So you'll be able to access your student email in D2L and in Pathway. When you are wanting to email an instructor or a classmate within your course, you will do that from your class list tab, or the class list tab for you all will be the easiest way to email your instructors or classmates. So in order to do that, when you click on class list and you see my name down here at the bottom of the screen, you would just click on my name and a composed email would pop up, and it would send it directly to my email account. Now, the emails are not linked to specific courses, so one thing that I'm going to recommend that you all do is in the subject line of the email that you're sending your instructor, put this course number and section number in that subject line. That'll make it much easier when you're having communications with your instructors. So in the subject line here, I would put AHS 155-73 question, or whatever it is that you're wanting to ask your instructor. And then finally, we are happy that you chose PTC, and we look forward to helping you meet your goals. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them at this time, or you can send me an email. My email address is gillum.k@ptc.edu. Thank you.